are live. We're back. Asifikanga sikalelekile. Welcome to KNR right here on SABC2, where you belong. DTT as well as SABC Plus. Mna ke ndingumhlonto buhle bendalo ke lepha inzwakazi yasemampondomiseni. You know I never do this alone. I have Ruv with me today. Hey girl.
Dumelang buhle and viewers. Yes, of course, you are watching Kids Newsroom, where we inform you about what is happening right here in Mzansi and other countries all across the world. I am Rivarashe Marumo, and without wasting any more time, let's check out our headlines.
On today's show, we meet two young boys from Alexandra who are struggling to get an education because they are undocumented citizens. FDM Academy collaborates with MICT CETA to teach kids all about TV and radio. And my favorite part, we wrap up the show with an amazing performance from Amandla. All this and more up in our bulletin today. As you might know, not a single day goes by without news. So right now, let's check out what's been happening in our country.
Naze zinohlonze ezenzeke lapha kwelengabadi kuleli viki. Ithimba lezinhlaka ezahlukene lijutshwe ukuthi liphenye futhi lithole imbangela yokuqhuma kwegesi enkabeni yedolobha iGoli. Imbangela yalesigameko ayikaziwa. Kucekeleke phansi ingqalasizinda lapha izimoto, kodwa ke kuze kube manje babalelwa ngaphezulu kwama-50 abantu abalimele lapha kulesi gameko. Uphenyo lusaqhubeka. Umengameli wakuleli usayinde umthethosivivinyo owamukela ngokusemthethweni ulwimi lwezandla njengolimi lwe-12 olusemthethweni lapha kwelengabadi. Umcimbi wokusayinda lesivumelwane ubusezindlini zombuso edolobheni iPitoli. Phela mbukeli, labo abayizithuli babhekana nenkulu ingqinamba lena emphakathini, ikakhulukazi uma bedinga usizo ezikhungweni zomphakathi ezifana nezibhedlela, emaphoyiseni kanye nasemphakathini nje. Sethembeke mbukeli ukuthi leli gxathu lizoletha izisombululo kwizinkinga phela ezibhekene nabantu abayizithuli kuleli. Sesiphetha amalunga ePhalamende lezingane avela ezifundazweni ezahlukahlukene atheleke lapha esifundazweni sase-Eastern Cape ukuzoba ingxenye ye-Children's Parliament yakulonyaka. Lamalunga mbukeli abambe iqhaza kwizingxoxo ezahlukahlukene edingida phela izinkinga ezikhungethe izingane lapha eNingizimu Afrika. Izingane zidingide ngobuxhwanguxhwangu ezibhekana nabo ku-internet. Sethembeke mbukeli ukuthi zonke izinkinga eziqhakambiswe izingane lapha zizoxazululwa maduze nje. Sizibeka lapha ezinohlonze kuleli viki.
And now let's cross our borders and check out what has been hip and happening in the entire world.
In news around the world, we begin in Canada. Hundreds of wildfires rage across Canada, with smoke-choked air dominating across the country and into parts of the United States. In the Alberta province, at least 20 out of 120 current fires burn out of control. Meanwhile, Quebec reported that several days of rain had helped firefighters reduce their fires from 160 in the beginning of June to 101 wildfires currently, none of which are out of control. In India, the Yamuna River that runs through the northern state of Uttar Pradesh has risen up the walls of the iconic Taj Mahal in Agra city after a period of heavy rain caused it to burst its banks. According to India's Central Water Commission, the portion of the river flowing alongside the Taj Mahal rose to 152 meters recently, which is well above the warning level of 151.4 meters, thereby signifying potential danger. And lastly, in China,
You try. Good. That's how you get up. Again.
Dozens of children under the age of 12 with diverse backgrounds are practicing Wing Chun, the Chinese style of the martial art in which Bruce Lee had trained. Inside a brightly lit studio, young practitioners dressed in purple and white kung fu outfits engage in sparring, showcasing their dedication to the martial art form. Their coach, Lee, is adamant to safeguard the legacy of Wing Chun and traditional Chinese culture. And on that note, that's a wrap for your news around the world.
Masibaleke siyentengisweni mbukeli we-KNR siyabuya ngoku. Siphinde sikwamkele enkqubeni mbukeli. Learners are excited to go back to school to resume their third term for this year's academic year. But not every child has the opportunity to get access to education. In Alexandra, north of Johannesburg, 2 siblings have never had the opportunity to attend school because they do not have birth certificates. We caught up with them to find out how difficult it is to be young and to not be attending school.
This week, schools reopen for their third term. Thousands of learners are excited to be going to school. But the same cannot be said for 2 siblings in Gauteng province in Alexander, who have been denied the opportunity to attend school because they are undocumented. According to one of the boys, not being able to go to school frustrates him because he is worried that in the future he won't be able to have a career, and he is bothered by the teasing from his peers.
ngifisa kabuhlungu abadlula abantu bathi wena ungena isikolo uhlali la uphuma ngale akukho umuntu wala sokubizela ama patrol abazokushaya manje ngento ayizukuhlungu abanye bathi ayithi ngicela ungikhaphe siye esikolweni ngivile ngibakhaphe mara mangibuya ngikhala
Nikusisa ubuhlungu.
yebo ngathi ngicabanga ngathi ayinami ngathi ngangena ngifunde and mangathi ngingena ngifunde manje isona.
During the day, one of the boys uses his entrepreneurial skills to sell ice blocks.
Something or mangithola imali yala ngiyothengisa khona maybe ama-ice noma yini ngithengisa yona leyo mali leyo eyinye ngiphuma mama ngiyathenga ukudla bangirobhi nge-change.
His older brother also dreams of returning to school and being able to continue with his sport talent.
Sihlala sport le kade ngingenile ematrayileni manje ngingenile ematrayileni bathi kufuna amaphepha ini ukuthi ngikhona ukuya kuphi eChina ngebaseball isport sami ngisithandayo.
They've tried multiple times to get assistance.
Abanye abantu bafika bathi hayi asami ngizele isikole asami ngizele amaphepha senzele amaphepha badlale ngathi bathi skip 700 bayenze mahala bathi skip uma 300 bazenzele amaphepha.
So much happened ukuthi ngelinye ilanga when I was driving ku Malboro. I met up with this boy begatheng some guava juice. So I gave him 100 rand and ngambuza ukuthi kule 100 rand how many ice are going to come out of that. And it surprised me that it didn't even need a calculator. The dream and the hope is that let's get these kids to school and let's help them.
Noma bangangenzela i-certificate bangithengele noma icathulo zesikolo noma yini bangithengele yona. Bangithengele noma icathulo ngiceda ngele noma ngiyofunda kuphi noma ibuveta kunanda.
With all the hardships that the boys are going through, but they still have dreams.
Ngifuna ukuba ngibe owner, ngibe nemoto, ngibe nefamily yami.
We hope the siblings will receive the assistance that they need. Mutsi Given, SABC News, Alexandra.
As we have seen the story, we hope that these siblings will receive the help that they need, as we know that education in our country is very, very important, and we believe that no child should live in a distressful situation. To help us shed light onto the story, we are now joined by Rebecca Silinda, who is a social worker, and she works for the Southern African Partners. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us right here on KNR. Please explain to us what you guys do.
We are Southern Africa partners. We are based in Alex. We work on a program called Keeping Kids in School.
Yes.
This program focuses on preventing the dropout rate within the marginalized schools.
Yes.
So we work with 3 schools in Alex.
Yes.
So if the learner does not attend school, that kind of learner is referred to me. If the learner has behavioral problems, they are referred to us. If the learner also has poor academic performance, they also refer to us. These are the risk factors that lead us to putting the learners into our program.
All right. Now, please also tell us, what does the law say about about learners not going to school, or learners and education, or any child for that matter, and education in South Africa?
The Constitution outlines that each and every citizen living within the boundaries, the borders of South Africa, has a right to basic education.
Yes.
And this is very important because ultimately it is about everyone maybe you might not even finish school, mara how ka kgona hore o thole basic education, even if you start your own business, that you are able to count, you are able to write. So everyone needs to have that basic education.
Just the standard
Just
of
the
having
standard.
an education. And as we've seen in the story, we know that it's not only about the daily thing of not having school shoes or not being able to be in a classroom. How does this affect learners or even children emotionally for seeing other kids going to school every single day, but they have to be on the street trying to sell and trying to make a living at that age?
Self-esteem is a big problem because one has a low self-esteem, a performing child, they cannot be themselves.
Yes.
And also depression is also a big problem. And this would affect a learner because they don't feel like they belong. And also because young kids cannot communicate. Words are very difficult for them to express how they feel. They also become rebellious.
Yes.
And then he was a good child, but now he's acting out because he does not have the words to actually say that I'm feeling like this because I'm not part of the school system.
So what advice would you give to families, parents or guardians that are struggling with getting their children into school or are denied the rights to education due to certain circumstances that they may face individually?
Yeah, there's experts in each and every organization.
Yes.
Especially with education and home affairs. These are the issues that they should be dealing with. But if the parents struggle, there's also organizations that specialize with migrants in South Africa.
Yes.
I think they would get all the help that they need because they also have social workers who will help them with mental health, everything that they need to get all the services that they need.
All right. Now, with these 2 siblings that we have identified, and their story is it's quite heartbreaking. How can they be assisted to get into school, to get birth certificates, to re-enter into the education system?
Okay, we can start off. Because now the learners are 10 years old and 13 years old. I think what the parents can do now, because within the community of Alex, there's also aftercare centers where they teach children how to read, because obviously they're behind.
Yes.
Just to catch them up into the system.
Yes.
Maybe they can go to those organizations and start learning how to read. And also they can go to different schools close by and
Yes.
approach the principal. And maybe the Department of Education can come and the counselors can come and assess the learners. Which grade do they belong to? Do they belong to grade 1? Because they are behind, they need to be assessed.
Yes.
And
Yes. So essentially, anyone who's able to get on board, whether it's from government officials, whether it's the parents or schools, that is a call out. So where can we find you? How do we get in touch with you?
We are based in Alexandra. We are working with within the community. We are based in 3 schools. Can I say the name of the schools?
Yes.
Yeah. We are working with Kwabegilanga High School.
Yes.
We are working with Alexandra Secondary School and
Yes.
also at Dr. Knack Primary School.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for being with us on KNR today. We've gained so much more information and we hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Mbukeli masibaleke siyentengisweni siyabuya ngoku.
Well, Welcome back to all of our SABC2, SABC Plus and DTT viewers. So tell me, what did you get up to during these past school holidays? Or perhaps how did your weekends look like? Well, children from Pretoria gather at the State Theatre every Saturday and on school holidays to polish their God-given talents. Dancing, singing and my personal favorite, acting, are some of the activities they are involved in. HTK Performing Arts allows children from the youngest age right up until matric age and often invite the public to watch their performances. Now, our producer Liema Vumisa caught up with them at one of their weekly sessions. Let's check it out.
Are you bored during school holidays or perhaps on weekends and often have nothing to do? Well, unlike you, these children have managed to get up to something that entertains them even as schools have just reopened. HTK Performing Arts Institute accommodates around 30 school children from ages 6 to 19 years and uses the State Theatre in Pretoria as their playground for activities such as dancing, singing and even acting while polishing their talents. Founder and head coach says his objective since inception has always been exposing young children to such activities.
The mission behind this thing is to just make sure that art is alive, to make sure that it's accessible to each and everyone who wants to actually become an artist, because we believe that it starts at a very young age. So if you get proper training when you are young, as you grow up you become a very good artist. So that's why we start from primary straight to high school, so that those who want to further their studies in becoming musicians, actors and all that, they can actually become that with a good foundation.
The children themselves filled us in on their favorite activities and why they enjoy being here.
My favorite category here is acting, and the reason why I'm here is because it keeps me busy and it's fun here.
The reason why I like acting is because many people have told me that I should go and try, and like it's my thing because and the reason why I'm here because it keeps me busy and like so I had to do something like an activity.
I love acting because it's my thing. Like they call me drama queen at home. And why I love acting is because it keeps me entertaining and I feel free to do it.
The coach did not forget to reiterate the importance of allowing children to engage in such activities apart from normal school curriculum, whilst projecting the good that can do for them.
The reason why it's important for kids to actually do this outside the school curriculum, because personally as a teacher, I've seen that the only thing that we are looking at as teachers is just the curriculum, to finish the ATP and all that. But we have kids who are not strong academically, but they are very good artists. So I was like, okay, it's wise that we even expand it to make sure that those who love arts, though they are academically strong or not, they will be able to have this.
Well, if you're around the Pretoria area, make sure this opportunity does not miss you.
Keep on watching this newsroom on SABC2.
For SABC News on KNR, I am Liema Vumisa in Pretoria.
Oh, wow, that was so lovely. Now, for the purposes of educating young people who wish to demonstrate their skill in the multimedia business, FDM Academy and MICT CETA have formed an inspiring partnership. The programs taught at this institution range from presenting to reading news to podcasting to radio. KNR producer Vuyokazi Kafile paid them a visit recently. Let's check out what went down.
Good afternoon, listeners. It's Friday, 4:30 p.m. and today we have a special guest, Vuyo, from KNR SABC2.
FDM Academy and MIC CETA, a prominent public institution, have joined forces in an inspiring collaboration to train young people who want to prove their talent in the multimedia industry. The school teaches a variety of programs including radio, news reading, podcast and presenting.
Today's topic is about what do parents do that annoy you.
I'll tell you what my mother does. She cannot sing. Sorry mom, but that's the truth.
Because KNR and Friends loves shining a spotlight on kids who are doing phenomenal work, we decided to take a short left and check how they were doing in the newsroom.
Greetings, welcome to the weather desk today. Today the weather is sunny with a little cold breeze and there might be rain showers in the night.
Maybe your next question is, out of all these programs, why did they choose to be part of this program? This is what they had to say.
I wanted to join this academy because I wanted to learn about TV, and there are a few places where they teach kids about how TV works and the radio production.
I joined this academy because I heard that they teach you about radios and they teach you about what your parents do.
All I love is about getting shy. My heart pumps like but sometimes it gets fun and less nervous, you know.
I joined this academy because in the future I want to be a radio host, and since I've been here, I've learned a lot.
Thank you for coming today, Vuyo. We really appreciate it. Thank you for answering our questions. And listeners, please watch KNR on SABC 2 at 4:30 p.m. on Friday, every Friday.
KNR loves shining the light on kids with phenomenal talents. Today on the show, we are joined by the one and only Siqalo Amandla Ntleko. Hello and welcome to Kids News.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm in matric and I love music, I love performing, I love presenting. Anything got to do with me being on stage and expressing myself in different ways, I love doing it.
Now, tell us any advice for young up-and-coming musicians just like you.
One big piece of advice I would give them is to just go and do your thing. I mean, a lot of people are going to tell you that you shouldn't do it or you should try and look for a more stable career. But at the end of the day, you need to do what fulfills you because you don't want to be stuck in something that you don't love doing. So as long as you love doing it, do it. There will be millions of doors and you need to take every opportunity that comes your way no matter what happens. What a great jam-packed show, Buhle. But unfortunately, that is all we have for today. Make sure you catch us here, same time, same place. And from me, Vivarashe, that is all. Mwah.
That is right. Remember to catch the repeat of this informative installation of KNR tomorrow, right here on SABC 2 at 6:30 in the morning. Today, we are not leaving you alone. We are leaving you with Amandla. And you must make sure that you keep it locked right here on SABC 2. Mna nawe sizakudibana ngexesha elizayo. Bye.
Ewe udlala ngam wandivisa kabuhlungu ngendlela uthetha ngayo uvusa balele I'm sorry, my baby, ngicela uxolo. Ungixolele, my baby, you didn't mean it. Ngisakuthanda mina. Uvusa balele. Siyathandana ukusihlukanisa kodwa bahluleka. Oh, abaphansi bavumile ukuba sefanelene thina sobabili. Siyajabula, siyajabula, jabula, sonwabile, siyathandana. Bazamile ukusihlukanisa kodwa bahluleka. Oh, abaphansi bavumile asifanelene thina sobabili. Siyajabula, siyajabula, jabula, masibe happy mundwa.